Myself, Minal Panchal from Gokul Global University, Department of Commerce and Management. Due to the COVID-19, I am going to teach you online platform. Course BBA. Semester BBA Semester 4. Subject Export Management. Faculty of Commerce and Management. Unit 3. Documentation, a presentation on commercial invoice and proforma invoice and important in export business. What is a commercial invoice and how to use in export? When you export to another country, commercial invoice is very important document. Without commercial invoice, you cannot export. Commercial invoice known as stamp paper. Let's discuss in next slide. A commercial export invoice contains a great deal of information and act as a bill of sales between a buyer and sellers. It describes what you are exporting, reference important transaction number, and it also serves as a vehicle for getting paid. Commercial is a export invoice contains a great deal of information between buyer and seller. All detail like packaging list, quantity of the product, weight, manufacturing date, reference number, customer purchase order number, address of shipper, method of payment, number of packages, and vehicle. Vehicle means which vehicle you can export via airline, truck, ship. Next, how to prepare a commercial invoice. Some exporter create a shipping document in broken Microsoft Word templates or Excel templates. If these templates are missing vital information, it can cause confusion to buyer and freight forwarders or can result in costly shipping delays, fine and demurrage charges. When exporter create a shipping document in broken Microsoft Word and Excel template, it create a many confusion to buyer, so that sometimes sellers suffer from fine, shipping delay and demurrage charges. Shippers use Incodocs to easily create a commercial invoice, packaging list and other important shipping document. Shipper always use Incodocs software. It easily create a commercial invoice. Incodocs is cloud-based shipping document software which is used by exporter and importer and trading companies around the world. All templates are aligned to the United Nations layout key. It avoid problem and delays with the trade shipment. When you prepare a commercial invoice, do not use Microsoft Word. Always use Incodocs because it avoid all problem and delays. Next, if both of you agree on a change in sales term, later on record that change on your invoice. It is not uncommon for a company to prepare a commercial export invoice in both English and the language of destination country. If you want to change the sales term, then you have to record the changes, but importer and exporter are ready for the changes. It is not necessary that the company can match the language of the country. Suppose India use English language, Spain can use Spanish language, Poland can use Polish language. So that next, commercial export invoice key information item. All details are here when you prepare a commercial invoice. First, Proforma invoice reference number. First, you mention Proforma invoice reference number. Second, customer purchase order number. Third, date on which the invoice was filled out. Which date invoice filled out? Mention this date. Address of the shipper. Write down the address of buyer and seller both. Method of payment. Select which method you have select to the payment. 6. Shipping term from your price quotation. Shipping term from your price quotation, which price you have decided from sales. Currency in which transaction will be made. US dollar, Japanese, French. Currency in which transaction will be made. If you can export Japan, so Japan can send Japan currency. 8. Bill of landing number. Mention the bill of landing number. 9. Pricing and quantity of the shipment. 10. Number of packages, marks, weight and measures. 11. Container number if shipped by container port of exit and entry. Container number used for export. Suppose you export in airline, so that you fill airline number. You can export in truck, ship, then write down its number. Next, commercial invoice. Commercial invoice, in the last column, exporter and importer both have to sign. You can see the format of commercial invoice. All details are mentioned in this format. And the last column, the buyer and seller both have to sign. Next, what is a proforma invoice? First, a proforma invoice document is an important document that the seller of goods creates when the buyer and seller have communicated the detail of the product they want to order. The seller will create a proforma invoice document to the confirm the new order. First, seller can send sample and quotation to the buyer. Then buyer and seller can communicate each other. If buyer can agree and purchase the product and confirm the order, then seller purchase a proforma invoice. Without confirm order, seller cannot prepare a proforma invoice. For that, both parties are agreed, then prepare a proforma invoice. Next, how does proforma invoice work with a purchase order? Proforma invoice and purchase order document are issued hand in hand. These are important documents that are used to officially confirm all order and product information to avoid any confusion or problem. With the supply and delivery of product, any additional information agreed between the buyer and seller can be included on this document. When the deal and order is confirmed, the proforma invoice and purchase order document are issued in hand to hand. These are the important documents. When the order is confirmed, the seller can prepare a proforma invoice. It avoids all confusion or problem with supply and delivery of the product. If buyer want to cancel order, it's not possible because seller can prepare a proforma invoice. All deals are confirmed, then seller can prepare proforma invoice. Real world example of proforma invoice. For example, a bakery customer might agree to the price of a cake on the proforma invoice, and the baker will deliver the cake once it is ready. The customer will pay when the invoice is received. The final invoice amount will be the same or close to the amount on the proforma invoice. It means when the customer purchase a cake, baker take a quotation to the customer. Customer is agreed and take a confirm order to the baker. Then baker prepared a proforma invoice. Next, what is the information included on proforma invoice document? First, seller's company name, address and contact detail. Second, buyer's company name, address and contact detail. Third, method of dispatch, road, rail, air or sea freight. Method of dispatch, which Method selected when we export good via road, rail, air, sea freight. Port types of shipment: FCL, LCL, break bulk or other. FCL. FCL means full container load. LCL. LCL means low container load and break bulk or other. Port of loading and port of discharge. Seaport or airport. We need to quantity of raw material which we need to load from the port and also unload to the port. Reference number and date. Product description including item, code, product description, unit quantity, unit type, price. Any additional information, usually payment term, lead time or estimated detail. Bank detail. The proforma invoice can include bank detail is requesting the buyer to make a payment. Bank detail are required. Without bank detail, buyer not make a payment. Last, name, date and signature of authorized company representative. In the last column, buyer and seller both have to sign. You can see the format of proforma invoice. All details are mentioned in this format. Today we covered two topics: commercial invoice and proforma invoice. Thank you.